The bluelock Neo Egoist League team of the tournament. I seen someone put this in my comments the other day and I thought it was a really good idea. So now I'm here doing it. Anyways, if you guys like these type of videos, you guys know the drill. Please remember to hit the like and subscribe button. Share to anyone you think would like this video. And also, I'm trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So all your support really helps. Anyways, without further ado, let's get right into this shit. I have to lay down a couple ground rules before I even start the video to just make sure you guys are on the same wavelength as I am. First of all, I will not allow any new Gen 11s or Master Strikers in this list. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because, yes, I thought that I would allow new Gen 11s in this list, but then I was like, you know what? I think it'll be a lot more interesting to have just blue lockers. You know, just blue lockers in this list. The second rule would be if a player is incompatible with the position, as per se, let's say Nagi Seichiro. Let's say I choose the 4-4-2 formation, right? And you all already know that this formation does not have a cam. So that's the only other position other than striker that we've seen Nagi play and he can excel at. So I think if Nagi's not starting on the two striker spots, Nagi is on the bench. You can immediately assume that he's on the bench. Just as vice versa, we've seen Shiguri play right back and left back. You know what I mean? So we can plug him into any of those two positions if the wing spots are taken. Anyways, without further ado, let's finally get into this. Like I said in the intro, the formation I'm going to be choosing is the 4-4-2 formation. I feel like this formation is like the most clean formation for a team like this. You know, we have 6 forwards, basically, and 4 defenders that can really hold it down. Coming in at our goalkeeper spot, I think it's very obvious. Our only goalkeeper, our only choice that we can really have is Jin Gagamaru. This guy is literally the only goalkeeper in the entire series, and not to say that he's a bad goalkeeper, because he's actually really elite. You know, he's been able to stop some very impressive shots throughout the course of the NEL, and I think he deserves the spot pretty easily. For our first center back, we're going to have Oliver Aiku. Yes, I know. For the team of the NEL, he didn't do much, all right? He did not do much. And I know a lot of people are going to be looking at me like, oh my gosh, bro, like, come on. Aiku, he didn't do shit the entire Ubers match. But you have to remember, this is a team for the tournament of the NEL, and I'm trying to build the best team, the best players in each position. I think Aiku is still the best center back in all of the NEL, you know, from bluelock at least, besides Lorenzo. So I think Aiku just, if we want to make this team elite, we have to put an elite defender like Aiku here. There's just no way around it. Now, the next center back spot might actually shock you guys. I'm putting Nico in center back. Now, you're probably all wondering, what the hell? Why are you putting Nico here? Now, the reason why I put Nico here, if you guys remember the beginning of the Ubers match, Nico was quite literally the guy who would press and win the ball off of Isagi every single time. I don't know if you guys remember that shit, but there was a couple plays where Isagi would get the ball and try and break in transition, and Nico would be the guy to stop that shit right away and get the ball back for the Ubers. Bro, I think Nico is a very good player in the NEL here to have just as a defender and a possible guy who could play in the midfield for a little bit, you know, as a DM or something. Because Nico provides everything in the game. He can pass, you know what I'm saying? He can score like we saw in the first selection. He can also defend like we saw in U20. And he has metavision now. So I think Nico is a very underrated pick. And if you're probably wondering, oh, what about his size at the center back position? We have Aiku. So anything in the air, Aiku will be able to deal with. Anything on the ground, Nico will be able to deal with. I think the center back pairing is pretty good. Now, this next right back spot, you're probably wondering, why the hell is this guy here? Now, I feel like this guy's compatible with playing this spot because he played it in U20. So I think it's pretty fair to give him the assumption that he can play this position or somewhere along this position in the NEL team of the tournament. And the reason why I'm putting this guy is here, he didn't have the greatest tournament. All right, listen, he did not have the greatest tournament. But he has chemistry with the guy who he's going to be playing up with. And on top of that, he's also a guy who has awakened metavision. So yeah, the guy on right back is Ryo Mikage. Now, you're probably wondering, why the fuck is Rio so down here? You know what I'm saying? He's not playing the midfield. Because our midfield's actually really, really elite. I would like to put Rio there in the midfield maybe in the future. But the thing is, Rio hasn't really shown us much in the NEL. I know in the Bastard Muncher match, he made a couple passes, his chameleon style developed, but I really do feel like Rio as a character did not get to do much in this tournament because Manchine City's just struggling, and he's paired up with Nagi, who's kind of like shit right now. So he wasn't able to showcase his full abilities. Coming in at left back, this is going to be kind of controversial, but since I had basically nowhere else to put this guy, I'm going to put this guy on the left back position, and that is Karasu Tabito. He's very good at holding the ball up in the midfield. He's also very good at being a vocal leader. He's also very good at winning the ball back. So these are all the qualities that will be great for a DM, again, just like Nico. But the thing is, there's no DM in this formation, and I really do feel like Tabito could play a more defensive role, you know what I'm saying? Especially on the wing. On the wing where, the guy above him would like an overlap sometimes to get the ball back, maybe a little 1-2 score. Tabito's a guy who can move up the field and provide those 1-2 chances for him. So I do feel like Karasu's a pretty good left back. Let me know what you guys think about that placement in the comment. Finally, our first spot in the midfield, our first center mid, our left center mid, is going to be none other than Charles Chevalier, or however you say his last name. But this guy is a very, very young talent in the NEL. He's only 15 years old in this thing, and he's delivering passes that are straight up out of this world. The first pass he delivered to Shido for the Bastard Munching game, that is like amazing. One of the best passes in the entire series. Now, he has gone quiet as the game has gone on, but I think Charles has shown us enough to earn this spot. Other than the other center midfielders, there's really nobody who I placed like Rio, Nico, or Karasu who have outperformed Charles in this specific position. I can't think of anybody who's played better than him in this position. So yeah, I think Charles earned his spot in the left center mid position of the team of the tournament. Now for our right center mid of the tournament, I'm going to be putting Hiorio in our right center mid of the tournament. Now I get, he didn't do anything the entire single tournament. He didn't do anything for the Manchine match. He didn't do anything for the match before that. But in the Ubers match, when he came on, I don't think you guys know, but he changed the entire match. And that's like a man of the match type of performance from a player. He came in, he was doing rainbow flicks. He even got the game-winning assist, which was a blockbuster assist. And on top of the guy who's going to be ahead of him in striker, I really do think that Hiyori is the perfect placement to place at this center mid position. Hiyori not only can track back, he can dribble quite well a little bit, and his passing is absolutely elite. On top of that, he has metavision. Just like Charles, he has metavision as well. So yeah, we have already 2 metavision users in our center mids, and I think these are the 2 best players who have been playing midfield throughout the entire tournament, in my opinion. At our right wing or right mid position, whatever you want to call it, we already know who's going there. Bachira is playing right mid. Now, Bachira can quite easily carve up any defense now due to the NEL's buff on him, and I think he really deserved this spot. It was really locked on. His playstyle isn't really super suited to being a striker, but he does have a super suited playstyle to being a winger. His crosses are fucking amazing. His dribbling has gotten even better. Nobody's stopping him down that wing. The guy behind him, Rio, can deliver over the top passes. It's going to be a nasty... no, not Rio. Karasu can deliver over-the-top passes. And like I said, Karasu might come up the field and offer 1-2 opportunities for Bachira. You know what I mean? I just noticed in this point in the video that I ended up placing Karasu and Rio on the wrong sides of the fields from each other. So that's my bad. If any of you guys are wondering, Karasu is playing right back and Rio is playing left back. Now, as for our left mid, left wing, whatever you want to call it, it's a pretty no-brainer. Chigiri Hilma. Chigiri has elevated his game to my exact ideal winger. I'm not gonna lie, he's my ideal winger in bluelock. In fact, I think if I had to compare my playstyle to anybody before I got injured, it was definitely Chigiri. This guy had it all: pace, dribbling, shooting, defending. Chigiri is a jack of all trades in the NEL, and honestly, he's been scoring every game without even having a system built for him, which is a feat in itself. You know what I'm saying? Not much to say about Chigiri since he's an absolute demon and an absolute beast. And we know that he's going to be starting on the actual U20 Japan team anyways. Now, our first controversial pick for the forwards, for the strikers of this team. I'm pretty sure this is the pick that everyone's waiting to see. And it is Isagi Yoichi for our right striker. The reason why I have Isagi Yoichi playing up here is because He's been an absolute demon for this entire tournament. Aside from the first game, which he still contributed a game-winning assist to, Isagi has literally been cooking this entire tournament. He could have scored a hat trick against Manshine City, but opted out to get another game-winning assist. And on top of that, I feel like Isagi just provides so much more to a team than other strikers, like maybe Rin or Nagi, you know what I'm saying? Isagi is also a jack of all trades in a sense where, yes, he cannot dribble, but he doesn't really need a dribble since his off-the-ball movement is so good. His runs are so good. He has sublime IQ of the game. Coming back for defense, he can drop into the midfield maybe and build a play up from there. Isagi is one of the smartest characters, or maybe just the smartest player in this entire team. And he's the most developed with his metavision as well. So yeah, I do think that Isagi is quite literally the best pick for the right striker spot in this team, alongside playing with Bachara, Chigiri, you know, freaking, what's his name, Hiyori. So, you know, like, he has a lot of chemistry with the players he's playing with too. So yeah, I think Isagi Oishi fits perfectly in. For our left striker, this is going to be very controversial. I already know it. But for our left striker, we are going with none other than Baro Shohei. Now, you're probably wondering, why the hell is Baro above Rin? And why the hell is Baro above Nagi and all these other people? Well, I don't know if anyone's asking about Nagi. But the main question is, why is Baro above Rin? And here's my thing. Rin has been amazing for this entire NEL. But you cannot tell me that Baro hasn't been amazing. Baro's been getting stiffed. If you want to talk about the values, he's been getting stiffed in terms of the values, and he's also been playing great. So I don't understand why his values have not, like, he should low-key be the top one value in the entire NEL right now, but the author is just holding him. On top of that, aside, like, he's a complete contrast to Isagi on how we have Isagi, who is quite literally, like, more of, like, a team striker, I guess, even though he is an egoist in himself. Baro can do shit all by himself. He does not need anyone's help to score. And on top of that, I feel like this rivalry between Isagi and Baro is good because even though they're not going to be really playing together, you know, really making teamwork happen, they both understand that they want to win the game. They have one goal, and that's to win the game. And so when times come, that rivalry is going to push them into each other to surpass each other. They're not going to let each other get a one-up on each other. And I feel like the same thing could happen with Rin, but the problem with Rin is I feel like Rin is most dangerous against two players, and that's Itoshi Sai and Isagi Yuichi. If he's not playing against any of those two people, I think Rin like gets a major nerf because now Rin is not the same Rin we knew before on how he was analytical. He was kind of like a better Isagi in a sense where he could really deduct a lot of things. His vision was amazing and he was just like a better version of Isagi. Well, now he's been watered down to like a straight just destroyer mode merchant in my opinion. And Baro is not a destroyer mode merchant as he has so many weapons. He can get in the air. He can catch on a volley. You know what I'm saying? He can dribble and score himself. He can score from outside the box. Baro is quite literally like our CR7 of our team. He's going to create goals no matter what. And on top of that, he has chemistry with the person playing on the left, who is Chigiri Hyoma. You know, as we know, they teamed up in the second selection. Anyways, guys, could you guys please let me know your thoughts down below in the comments regarding my team? You know what I'm saying? What would you change? What would you fix? You know what I'm saying? Who would you replace on the team? I would love to read all your comments down below. And please remember to like and subscribe before you click off the video. And share to anybody who you think would like this video. I'm trying to hit 4,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So yeah, guys, please help me. And please keep supporting me, gang. It really helps me a lot. And yeah, man, thank you guys. Have a good day. Goodbye.